So the message is, oh, you're a pilot, doesn't like some minimum wage control freak sticking their hands down your pants or being radiated. You shoot video of the fact that almost everybody else who works at the airport just gets to drive right in. There's no security. That's all a fraud. That it's all security theater. And here's the AP headline. TSA probes pilot critical of airport security. The guys have another headline up there. Lawyer, feds probe pilot critical of air security. Yeah, you may be a terrorist. We better, and it goes on. They raided his house, showed up, intimidated their way in and said, give us your firearm, your government-issued firearm. You don't show video. I could drive down to Bergstrom International Airport right now. It is literally 2 miles from where I sit. And I could set up a camera on a street corner, and I could videotape. In fact, I ought to send Rob Dew over there right now. I could videotape the airport workers driving right up, swiping a card, and going right onto the tarmac. And I will bet you $1,000 that within 10 minutes, police are going to pull up, all freaked out, and go, why are you videotaping? We're here with Alex Jones, local media. The cops, of course, know who I am. They'll still say, well, wait a minute. It's our right. We're just showing the airport. Oh, but see, we might be terrorists. They'll try to, outside of law, intimidate us not to do it. And then I could do it myself or have Rob do it right now or one of the other crew guys. Explain to them, well, we're here showing how it's just wide open security. There is no security. Well, that's what this pilot did. And the government, first they said it was the airlines. Now Yahoo says it was the government. Went in and told YouTube to take his videos down. So here's the headline. TSA probes pilot critical of airport security. Federal authorities are investigating a pilot. They got a different one up on screen. I'm reading one off my computer if folks are confused. My headline is TSA probes pilot critical of airport security. Federal authorities are investigating a pilot who posted videos on YouTube that were critical of security at San Francisco International Airport, the pilot's attorney said Friday. Don Werno of the Santa Fe-based law firm Werno & Associates of the Transportation Security Administration is looking into whether his client revealed sensitive information. Yeah, oh, yes, they want to keep you safe when they're not having the State Department get the underwear bomber drugged out of his gourd onto an aircraft. Then we have the witnesses on the show, the Haskells, who saw it all happen. The FBI comes to their office and tells them, shut up, basically, and then it comes out it was all true. And then the boss of the underwear drug head, the mind control zombie, is admittedly secretly working at the Pentagon, hanging out secretly, Anwar al-Awlaki. But let's just ignore all that. Let's all have telescreens in Walmart and spy on our neighbors and all get scared. The pilot remains anonymous with a major airline, but he has withdrawn from a program that trains flight crews to help prevent hijackings after authorities confiscated his federally issued firearm, Werno said. He declined to release the pilot's name, citing concerns about the man's job. The TSA wouldn't answer questions, but said in a statement it is responding to the situation and is confident that the security at San Francisco International Airport. As to access control at San Francisco Airport, the TSA is confident in the tools the airport has implemented and reminds passengers they are security measures in place that are both seen and unseen. Yes, like your neighbor watching you, that old lady on a power trip, the busybody, who's now a government agent. When she doesn't watch reruns of 24, she's watching you. The pilot posted several videos on YouTube in November and early December that showed ground crew members swiping security cards and entering secure areas without undergoing any screening. He notes in the footage the pilots undergo intense screening, but then have access to axe-like weapons that are stored in the cockpit in case of emergencies. Well, we better raid this guy. My gosh, he may be a danger. We'll be right back with your phone calls. Stay with us, all of us evil American terrorists. A lot of people have pointed out that the whole TSA thing is security theater. That's not what it's about. It's about creating a federal Gestapo force to take over every facet of society. That's on record, not my opinion. And now it's mainstream news today. Napolitano said TSA is going to be in your Walmarts, in your shopping malls, at checkpoints. You think you're just not going to fly? You're going to pull up, they're going to have a checkpoint set up, and these goons on power trips looking at every person wolf-like. See, but imagine if you look at them wolf-like, like, oh, this is a government fat-bellied crook. They'd all freak out. Just like the woman who has a pacemaker and who is a sexual assault victim who tried to fly through Austin Bergstrom over the holiday to see her family out on the West Coast. And she said, don't touch my breast in the pat-down. And the woman said, oh, this is a quote, oh, I'm going to touch them. And she said, no. And they said, you must go through it now that you've entered. And the cops slammed her down, drug her off. Another victory. Well, don't worry, cops. The bankers are going to take everything you've got. And you'll just be like a third world cop in Mexico or Nigeria. You'll be living in a hovel, but you'll still have that uniform. People will still be scared of you on the street. Don't worry. Your kids will be given deadly shots. You will drink fluoride. You will and the football game will still be on for you. You had your big victory, didn't you? But the good news is the local news has always gone from slavishly worshiping all of this to saying they don't like it. But then they cut to two sheepish women who went, I understand it's horrible they did this to her, but it is the law. And there's no law. The airports don't have to have them there. They've invited them in. It violates the 10th Amendment. What, because a crime may be committed in an airport or a cornfield? You've got to go through people sticking their hands down your pants or grabbing your breast? This is prior constraint. No one can protect you. The world isn't safe. That's how the government's announcing, the Transportation Department earlier this year, back in January in the Wall Street Journal, that cars are bad, cars are the enemy, and they want you out of the cars on trains. Because if the government controls it, it'll be safer, even though they're not. And they're now testing cars that take control and drive you. Because it's safer. See, this is an electronic straitjacket in the name of the nanny state. Let me just read these headlines, and I promise I'm going to your calls. Airline pilot, TSA message, you're angry. You've angered us by telling the truth. That's a quote. Yeah. Don't show that it's just a federal power grab and a takeover. Don't show that the airports are wide open. You know, now they're talking about terrorists striking the edge of the airport. So now there'll have to be checkpoints at the edge of the airport. And then, oh, at the mall. And then down the street. And see how this works? Continuing here with these articles. And these are all up on PrisonPlanet.com and Infowars.com. Napolitano announces expansion of Gestapo zones from airports to malls and hotels. As we predicted, Homeland Security and National Security State officialdom are in the process of expanding the police state and citizen humiliation grid from airports to hotels and shopping malls. In the United States is stepping up security at soft targets like hotels and shopping malls, as well as trains and ports, and as it counters the evolving al-Qaeda threat, a top official told AP Sunday. We're looking at so-called soft targets, the hotels, the shopping malls, for example, all of which we have reached out to in the past year and have done a fair amount of training for their own employees. And that's why I went up a few months ago in San Francisco, getting off the plane. It was hours late in the middle of the night, and I watched the woman interrogate people, and I couldn't believe how she looked like she had just won $1 million lottery. Every person she questioned. She was in her little snappy dress, you know, young 21-year-old blonde. She was Jack Bauerus. And she would, where are you going? Oh, to see your mother. Where she live? Oh, really? Tell me about your mother. And the people are like, oh, I just want my car. And I just go up there and I'm like, this is Homeland Security stuff. And she goes, yeah, this is your real address, isn't it? Not the one on your driver's license. And I went, yeah. She went, that's right. And she just, oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. But 800-plus sanctuary cities, the illegals can murder, kill, rape, 28,000 deaths, mass slaughter, rocket attacks, car bombs, people being killed, police being killed, back of the newspaper. Drones, Mexican drones crashing, CIA aircraft crashing full of cocaine. None of it's even news. Just ha, ha, ha. And meanwhile, everywhere you go now, you're checking in at a hotel. You go to third world countries, they're doing the same thing now. You think you're going to you think you're going to take a cruise? You think you're going to drive over a border to be left alone? No, it's worldwide control grid, continuity of agenda, dumbed down scum on a power trip ruling over you. Where are you going? And you know, that's not really your business. Oh, you don't want to tell me. Oh. Okay, I'll tell you, because I know you're a little Homeland Security spy. Oh, I'm here for media. Yeah, that's right. I'm big. She got kind of real jealous and upset. Oh, media. Oh. I mean, literally. I'm like, yeah, national TV. Oh, what show? What network? Look, I understand you're on a power trip. Just give me my stuff. And she goes, oh, the computer broke. I know it says that History Channel, because it says right here, I already knew that. She told me, I'm spying on everything you do. I've got power. I mean, just 4 years ago, they were denying that they were spying on anybody without warrants. Now, it's bloody toilet attendants. It's some 21-year-old bimbo that I've got to bow down to. I got to lick her boots. It didn't matter what one of the checkouts I went to of 8 or 9 different car rental places. All of them were Jack Bauer now. And she said, I'm afraid the computer's locked up. I'm going to need to charge you, but I promise later that I'll go and charge them. Okay? And I knew right then, I could tell, she had this demonic look on her face. She was going to show me. And I knew I would get the money refunded, which I did from History Channel. I said, okay, here's my card, here's my stuff. She hit me and hit me hard. Didn't charge them, charged me. She showed me. She is God. She is master. She is the Soviet. She is the East German. She is the scum. She is the armies of weak, pot-bellied trash that now run this country. By pot-bellied, she wasn't pot-bellied. She was a smart, good-looking little number. Her soul was pot-bellied. And she'll be hurt bad. She'll get the news that she can't have kids when she's 30. I guarantee you that woman takes every vaccine they roll out. She does have kids. The statistics are way up. Every form of cancer, diabetes, and she'll go in and fry her kid with radiation, every drug imaginable. She'll lower that kid in the ground. And she'll go to her grave worshiping New World Order, worshiping evil, worshiping everything ugly.